Good morning. Welcome to a cuppa with Tina England, and I'm gonna make a cup of tea. So here's the cuppa. Oh, here's a cup. So gonna wait for the wash machine to stop spinning because it's a bit loud. But welcome to my channel. My name is Tina England, and welcome to Tina England too. Um, like I said, I will explain more what's going to happen once the wash machine stops making that spinning noise, and we can start the morning cuppa with Tina England, which is me. Right, so let's now calm down. We can actually now start the morning cup with me, Team New England. And this is all new, right? So what I have on, I don't know if you ever watch, if you ever subscribe to Team England 1, um, every morning that I will do a show called A Cuppa with Team England. Um, it was called Morning Cuppa, um, and a chat I think it was called. But because some subscribers come up with really amazing ideas, and they said I should call it um, Morning Cuppa with Tina. I think, yeah, that's really nice. And so I called it Morning Cuppa with Tina England. So this is it. This is my cuppa. Now, your cuppa can be tea, coffee, hot chocolate, um, and, um, whatever you like, you know. Um, and with my tea, I have some biggies. Now, these are fig rolls. I have two of these with one of these. The reason why the maximum is three is because where I'm trying to lose weight, I am limiting myself to how many biscuits I'm allowed to have. So three biscuits, that's what I have come up with. And I must admit, I'm not going to lie to anybody that I want more. But I'm saying to myself, no, three's enough. Don't push it, you know. Because the reason why I'm diabetic type 2, so I have to be careful of what I eat. But everything is near enough got sugar in it and things like that, or saturated fat. So I have two fig rolls, put them there, and I have one of these. The reason why I only have one of these is because these contain a lot of wets. That means there could be a lot of sugar in it, a lot of saturated fat, and a lot of other products. You know, so I only have one of these. I did have two to start with, but you can taste there's just quite a lot of sugar in these. These are digestives, chocolate chip. These are Tesco's brands, because they're cheaper and plus it is a biscuit in a day. Name brands are expensive. So I sort of um, watch what I spend and things like that. And things like that. So yeah, so let's talk about what is Tina England 2 all about. Well, England 2 is going to be no different from England 1. There's going to be up to 55% more videos, or it could be 70% or 80% more videos coming to Tina England 2. And the way that it's going to work is this way. So, Saturdays and Sundays and Wednesdays, there will be uploads here on Teen England 2 videos. It could be, it will be the morning cuppa with me. Then you'll have what I'm wearing. And then you'll have Foodie Grub. Um, um, and then you have my live shows. Plus much more what I can think of, but there will be more contents coming to Teen England too. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I do not ask for money. I do not ask for gifts. I do. The only four things I ask for, and that's comment, subscribe, thumbs up, and ding the bell. That's all I ask for. That's all I want. Because the reason why is I am not after people's money. I'm not after gifts. Um, I've always said when I started my YouTube channel, I will not ask people for money or gifts or things like that. That's why I haven't got a PO box in. I used to have a wish list, but that's now gone because it got hacked. Um, so can't see the point. That may come back one day. I do not know, but I'm all about that. In the UK, I live in England. That's why it's called Teen. Teen is my name. England is where I'm from. That's why I've called it Teen England. But this is Teen England too. Um, so there's going to be more uploads and that to this channel to Teen England too. I've been mainly concentrating on my other channel, Teen England 1, more. That has come to an end. Now, both channels will have split days. So, on Teen England, they will do Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But over on Teen England 2, which is this one, will have Saturdays and Sundays and Wednesdays. And I know what you're saying, why does Teen England get one more day more than Teen England 2? That's how it's worked out. If there was an eighth day, it will be good. I could actually split, so it's half and half to make it more fairer. But at the moment, I'm not doing it like that, because I have to do it where it's easy for me because if you're new here or you've subscribed but you never really see, I am a transgender woman. I'm proud of who I am. I'm partially sighted. I got problems with my body on the inside of me. I do my workouts because I want to lose weight. So I'm eating more better than I was a few months ago. Coming to Teen England 2 is also coming next year is Choose My Takeaway. Now, before over on Teen England 1, before this channel even got started, I used to do a thing called Choose My Takeaway every 4 weeks. And it was really good, but it come to an end. I put it to an end because I was treating myself too many times. And I'm only allowed to have a treat once a month. And what was happening, I would have chocolate, cakes, and then have I can have my takeaway because it's a treat. And that's what I was doing. I was doing everything one. The way I should be doing it is having no treats during the 4 weeks until the 4 weeks of takeaway is up. So the way I'm doing it is where I don't have no like chocolate or cakes or anything is sugarified and things like that. And then the day that I have my treats, will be the takeaway. Does that mean on that treat day, because that's what I'm going to call it, a treat day, that means I can have, if I fancy a nice cake, I can have that with my takeaway for like an afters, things like that. Well, let's get to it. Let's have a biscuit. Let's do a donkey donkey. Um, I never did this on Tuning On, which I have to do. So donkey donkey. Wow, that is a lovely cuppa. So also coming to Tin England too. Um, I said about lives, my live shows. Yes, they're coming back. Now, from the 1st of December, will be every day up until Christmas, will be the morning. I think I'm going to call it the morning Christmas cuppa with Tina England. Okay? It's, of course, you're not going to see me until Wednesdays or Saturdays or Sundays, you know. But if you subscribe to both channels, you will see mainly everything what happens on Tina England 1 and what happens on Tina England 2. Now, I'm not saying to you, you do have to subscribe to both channels. You do not have to do that. You know, that is totally up to you. You know, I'm just saying what's to come. This year, there will be a special Choose My Takeaway. You know, that is coming. Um, I know what you're saying, but if I only can have one takeaway every 4 weeks, if it falls on a Monday or Tuesday or a Thursday or Friday, Tin England is going to miss out. Like Tin England 2 is going to miss out. Not necessarily, because for this thing, every Christmas I would have to do two um, choose my takeaway. One for Tin England 1 and one for Tin England 2. I'll have to do two, to be fair, because I'm a caring person, and the way I see it is, I am, but there's things that I can't get involved with people's private life or personal issues. I cannot get involved with that, you know. But you can write me comments, say, Yeah, so I can't get involved with people's personal history and things like that, um, and problems. Can't get involved because I can't have stroke number two. Didn't even like the first one. You know, the first one left me partially sighted, problems with the inside of my body. My left side is weak and unstable. It means when I wear high heels like I'm wearing today, my left leg gives way quite a lot. That's why I don't always wear high heels. I mainly wear either flats or trainers or some other kind of heel, which I've got, you know. So, what is Morning Cuppa all about? Well, Morning Cuppa is all about where I chat about things that is either going on in the world, or I chat about movies, gaming, fashion, makeup. Um, no, I got my nails done, everything that I can think of, you know, as long as I don't cross the line, it's because when they're in the UK, everything we say is uh, monitored and things like that. That means anything we say about those people, we get um, we can get done for. But they can do it, but we can't. We British people can't say, which is one, um, in in the UK or in England. I don't know about Scotland, Wales, and that, and Northern Ireland, but there is what's going on, and you can see it. There is a thing called two-tier policing, um, which is completely one. There, it's completely and utterly one. What the government is doing is one, but this didn't start with the government which is in now. This started with the previous government, but these were all parties apart from mainly one party, and that is Reform UK. You know, every party are dictators. Every party I do not like. Every party needs to grow a backbone, you know, and stop letting people who think they can do what they like in our country and across the world. Because it's not just happening in the UK, this is happening in like Europe, this is happening in America, it's happening in Australia. Enough is enough, you know. I'm a transgender. I'm proud to be English. I'm proud to fly my flag behind me and in front of me and at the side of me. There is a flag on the side of me. It's over there and in front of me. And just you can't see it. It's right there in between the two curtains. There is actually an England flag there. I don't know if you can see it. You know, and I've got the LGBT like curtain, which I've got to sort out. It's not what it's supposed to be doing. It's because this year I had the window open and it blew. Yeah, so it's everywhere at the moment, but I've just got to straighten it all out. It's half of it's sitting behind the picture, so I've got to sort that out. So let's do cut this biscuit in half so I can have some of it. Now the only reason I can have one of these is because they contain a lot of could take a lot of sugar and that and other things. Mm. Yeah, just by having that half a biscuit, you can taste how much is in it. That's why I only have one. I had two before. I didn't know how sweet and how it tastes really nice, but I just can't have no more than one. They're really nice. That's it. I can't have no more. So the only time that I can have more biscuits if I have a hypo. I think them ones would be my go-to. These ones here would be my go-to because they contain quite a bit of sugar. These would be my go-to because they could stop the hypo getting worse. Um, it's very frustrating being diabetic type 2 or having any kind of illness. What stops you from having your amazing treats, you know? So also, I had a comment over on England One. I should do a tweet with Tina, and I'm thinking, yeah. So also coming to both channels will be treats with Tina. That could be a nice piece of chocolate cake, or trying chocolate bars or sweets, anything what captures my appetite. But like I said, I've got to be careful. So it could be I try 3 pieces of chocolate or 3 pieces of cake, you know, or a piece of cake, something like that. I don't quite get what I'm going to have to do with that, but I am very happy that where my channels are going. I've cleaning it right up. I am before I was in a very low point in my life where I didn't know if I was going to do any more YouTubing. I just really just couldn't be bothered with it. And then until one day, I actually said, change it. Before, I didn't have really any. control of what I'm doing. Now I've got control of what I'm doing. I am Tina England. I am English. I am from England. And that gives me so much power that I'm proud of. And I'm a transgender woman. I'm proud of it. I will not let a dictator change my life. You know, and I will fight for my beliefs in what I believe in that I should be. I was born a human. Every human is not given a name until the parents give them one. And I didn't like the name I was given. I never asked for that down below. You know, so from a young age, I thought I know who I want to be. I want to be a woman. I don't want to be this person. You had no right to make me that person. So, in all my life, I started being another person, Tina. And I did that for 45 years behind closed doors. It took me to have a stroke, right, to actually come out to everybody that I was a transvestite. And then when I come out of the hospital, waited two weeks when I lived on the Isle of Wight. I went to see my doctor and told him about it. And it took me 2 years to move off the Isle of Wight to where I am now. Because at the time, I didn't actually like the Isle of Wight, but I do now. I actually want to move back. And there's other places I actually want to move to. And so it took 2 years for me to get on to be seen by the transgender clinic. And when I got, I think, the phone call or a letter, I was so happy that, and then it stopped being from a transvestite to transgender, and that because they said to me, "You're not a transvestite, you're transgender now." But why? Okay, so I'm a transgender woman, and they told me everything that I needed to know. They said to me that, well, I asked a question first: is, are you allowed in women's toilets and changing rooms? I said, I don't know. And they said, yes, you are. And I thought, why? Okay. But there's so much friction going on that women's spaces and things like that, which I can understand their point of view and things like that. But the way you got to look at it is, if a person changes his sex and becomes a woman, shouldn't they be given the same rights to use women's toilets and changing rooms? I can understand what was going on sometimes, that some people will dress up as a woman to go into a women's toilets and do bad things. I can understand that. I'm against all that. I would never like to see a woman hurt because I am one, you know. But if you look at sport nowadays, you have got biological women in men's sport. if it's competing or commentating or presenting a man's sport, you have got it. So where they're banning transgender women from competing in women's sport, that is one, because they're stopping one, but they're not stopping biological women from competing and commentating and presenting men's sport. Am I against all that? No, I'm not against it, because I'm not a dictator. It's the way it is, I've always wanted to see women in Formula One, because in America, in endurance racing, where it's bigger cars and faster cars, there was a female woman driver who I loved. She was fast, and she used to drive this car. Now, this car didn't look like a car. No, it didn't look like a car. It looked like a penis. That's what I described it, because it actually looked like one, you know. But they called it something else, but I can't remember what they called it. But for us, that looked like a penis, you know. But she drove this car like brilliant. She was fast, and in endurance racing, you have to change drivers. So she in this one race, she built up a very hefty lead. She was fucking fantastic. And when it come over to the male driver, because she had to change over with a male driver, worst mistake going. He couldn't drive this car to save his life. I don't know why, because he looked like a dick. I do not know. Like a penis, to apologise, like a penis. But it looked but this woman drove this car, and I always wanted to see a woman in Formula One. But all this fiction about banning transgender people from nearly everything, the way I see it is one. If they've gone down the road like I'm doing, then they should be given a chance. They shouldn't be said no to. They should be given a chance. You know, because everything in this world at the moment is so bad, it's unbelievable. You've got people just walking into countries and thinking they can demand this, and demand that. Come across on small boats and things like that, or call what these I think what they're doing. They're causing friction, and it's costing countries so much money. And the only countries who are benefiting from this is what they say are gains and things like that. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if the gangs who are doing this are actually could be anybody um, who are the gangs. Um, it could be the news channels. It could be the government. We do not know who these gangs are. You know, politics is um, politics is fucked up. It's fucked up. Um, in like the UK, where I live in England, um, no party have got a clue. Every MP are a bunch of thieves. They blame everybody apart from themselves. They think everything they do is right. Everybody who's against them are one. The way I see it, no one is against the government. All we want is the government to do their job properly and put British people first, not second. Okay? And what I mean by that, if you emigrate to a country, say you emigrated from America to England, right? You become, because you fill out all the paperwork, everything you need to do to become a British citizen. Okay? So I see you. Do I see you as American or do I see you as British? I see you as a British citizen. Okay? You've got every right to be here because you've done the job. You've done the hard graft. You've done the work. And you're paid to use the NHS because how I know that you have to pay the NHS because I watched this year or last year where American women had to pay so much money to use the NHS for I think the first couple of years until everything got sorted because once it gets sorted and she gets I think it's a national insurance number or a tax number, then she starts paying tax, then it gets taken out of that. It's very I like that way and I got 100% support of them. I don't have support for the other way. People who think they can just come over by boats or walk into America and start havoc. Because that's what's happening in New York and where they're smashing up shops and causing nothing but havoc. And although I don't like Donald Trump, but I think Donald Trump is the only guy who can turn it around. He will clamp down what's going on, and I think Donald Trump, he could be the solution. Yeah, the reason why I don't really like Donald Trump is because he's against trans people, which I'm not one of. And will he change his ways? I do not know. But I've got to think for people's safety in America and in the UK and in Europe that everybody who's American, who's English, who's Scottish, who's Welsh, who's French, German, Italian, Polish, you name it, you know, has got the rights. And when people think they can come over by little boats or don't actually how they got into America because I thought he put a big long wall up, but there was but I know why because when they built that wall in America to stop it, whoever built it put a weak point in it. Down one side of the wall, he put a weak point, and they found it. And the news channels, instead of telling the army, they just let all these people just walk in, and they, just this is why the news channels, I think, are the biggest crooks going. And this is what I think, are they the gangs? Because, alright, every news channel are against that country. Like in the UK, it's I think it's like every news channel going. The anti-English and anti-British. You know, and that, and I think it's one. Now, I like the Royal Family. I do like them. I never used to, because I'm thinking, what did the Queen actually do? You know, but the Queen has got power. But the only thing is, they don't use that power. You know, because if the King called Labour and said to them, "You're out. You're making our country look bad," up war or whatever, not by the people, by Parliament, all like the MPs, you know. I've always wanted the King now to do something. They've got to do something. He's got to do something. He can't let this go on. He can't let these people be like this, you know. You know. So I say to the King, what are you doing? Your your country is bleeding. You know. Soon when that riots happened in the summer, when them children got horribly stabbed, what happened after that was bad. That way should never have happened. There is a way of doing it, but it's not that, you know. And what's going on with everything in London, all that needs to stop. All that needs to stop. This has got nothing to do with England or the UK. And it's, if you look at it, what's going on in Israel and things like that, Israel's got every right to support themselves and doing what they're doing. They didn't start the war, but because of what's happening, the news channels are against Israel. I think, why? They didn't start the war, you know. I just think it's bad what the news channels are doing, and the Jewish people never asked for this. Yeah, that war's been going on for years over a bit of some freaking land, and they want where like two-state solution. Well, that's up to Israel, isn't it? Israel are comfortable for the land. Why do they have to agree with every other person, every other country's ways? And when you hear certain people asking for a ceasefire, I'm thinking, well, if you didn't start the freaking war, you wouldn't have to ask for a ceasefire because it wouldn't have happened. They're only asking for a ceasefire is because they're losing and they can't. They need to mainly when you ask for a ceasefire, you can regroup and that. The way I see it, the thing with war is you fight and to you succeed. You know, ceasefires are they don't work. Ceasefires will never work. Ceasefires only work for one side, and that's the side of what is losing the fight. You know, that's why I think they're asking for a ceasefire. And the way I see it, Israel don't have to ask for a ceasefire. I don't think. They don't have to because they are not ones who started the war. Now, I don't like seeing people dying. I just wish something can happen where both sides can come out of this on top. Both sides can agree on things where both sides are happy, not just one side are happy. It's a bit like Russia with Ukraine. You know, I was watching a channel and it had someone from the government, someone from the former government saying Russia could win this war, you know, and that, and saying about World War Three. I've always said World War Three is coming, you know. Is is my country ready for it? No, but we've never been ready for wars. We've had to make do with what we've got, and touch wood, we've always come out on top in that. But when it comes the crunch to the crunch, we will make unlimited amount of supply of guns, ammo, tanks, you name it. We will make it. We will build it, and it will be built quick. You know, the Challenger 3 tank is a tank to be reckoned with. It is the most powerful tank in the world. The Challenger 2 tank. The reason why no other country wanted it is because no other country knew how it operated. The only country who knew how to operate it and why it was so powerful was the British. The British people, the British Army knew how to operate the Challenger 2 tank. That's why it was the best tank in the world, I think. Other countries didn't want it because it didn't have what other tanks have with the reload, the reloading scheme. It had another way of doing it, but it was a very, I think it was a very difficult way of doing it. But the only people who knew how to do it was the British Army. You know, when we gave some to Ukraine, I don't know how they're getting on with our babies. I just hope we're taking good care of our babies, but they're our babies. You know, you know. And I love the Challenger 2 tank. I love the Challenger 3 tank. Everything British that the British Army have, I love. Yeah, I never really fired that old gun now, but they're getting a newer gun. And I hope that this new gun that they're getting is better than the gun that they was using, you know, because the British Army are the best there is, best there was, and best there will be, you know. It's a case of um, knowing things. I'm 52 years of age, and I have heard things, seen things, and I tell you something now. It's never looked good. The only time it looks good is when you're having a good day, but the world is crumbling before your eyes. It's crumbling. You've not just got floods, earthquakes, tornadoes. You've got wars. Everything is going on. You've got food prices going up. You've got gas going up. Got electric going up. Everything is coming dear. And all this can be avoided. You know, where the government are in there and when they're building Great British Energy, when they say, oh, it's going to save money, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think it's going to take what? Because don't forget, the government have got to get back their money. So it's going to take 2, 3, or 4 years to gain back the money they've spent on this. You know, so our bills won't come down straight away. You know, because in every year they they will say that, oh, it's to do with this, or it's to do with that, or it's to do with that. It's like the water bills. Every single year they say, oh, the reason why it's going up because we need to pay for that, we need to pay for this. Well, that's what's happening with every single gas, electric, water, you name it. It's the same excuse all the time. It's boring. We need to pay for um, maintenance and things like that. That is bullshit. You're just nicking the money to put in your pockets so you can have a better life than other people can. It is not fair that every person are suffering. The TV license should be getting rid of. It should be gone. Don't know why we're paying for a TV license. Stupid. You know. There's if you live in the UK, there is a thing called a TV license. Now, it is you have to pay for a TV license to pay for the BBC. But then you find out you're not only just paying for the BBC, any live channel you watch, say you watch live sports, say it's on ITV, you, although it's a private company, it shows adverts, you still have to pay. If you watch, say on Sky, although you're paying Sky TV, say to watch on Sky Showcase, right? Well, originally was called Sky One. You have this. If you don't pay the license, you can't really watch that channel. You know, I think it's wrong for what the BBC are doing. I don't like the BBC. I never have liked the BBC. The BBC are 100% anti-English, you know, and they're not for the UK. You know, other countries like they've got BBC America. Do Americans pay for the BBC? No, they do not. They've got BBC Asia. Do the Asian parts of the world pay for the BBC? No, they do not. Everything is funded by the British people, right? It needs to stop. It needs to stop, you know. And foreign aid, I asked an MP, we need to cut. foreign aid even more. He didn't say anything, you know. I think we need to cut foreign aid uh, for the countries who don't need the money. I found out we're giving money away to countries who do not actually need any money. We're just giving them money. Free money. Why? Why are we giving them free money for? You know, it's stupid. We need the money in our country so the elderly can put their gas on, their electric on to keep warm this winter. You know, and I'll tell you something, where the gas and electric are going up in price, I was thinking this when I was putting my makeup on this morning. I was thinking of this. Why is it that the Conservative Party did this sort of scheme where everybody in the UK got this £900, right? Or well, you got about every so much you got given £300 on this, and in places you got if you're on this thing you got 150 quid. The Labour Party ain't doing anything to help people. Instead of doing that, they're not doing one single freaking thing going. They are the worst party, apart from Conservatives, the Lib Dems, the Greens, the SNPs. They are the worst parties going. And these parties is a game to them. It is a fucking game. We, the people, who say, who you fighting for? We're fighting for a bunch of dictating fucking idiots. The idiots. Every MP who sits in the House of Parliament and sits in the other part are a bunch of fucking idiots. You know, they are all two-faced bullshit bastards. You know, it's not on. It's not on at all. We all need, apart from rich people, they don't need the money. When the government there are going to be said they're going to be taxing the rich and things like that, there's two things here. The rich made their money by working hard and things like that, or they've won the lottery or things like that. Should they be taxed more? I haven't got the answer for that. I do not know. Should the poor people have to pay for everything? Not really. I think it should be a fair system for all. You know, I can understand that if you want an operation, you know, a lot of people are, not a lot of people, but fair amounts of people are going private, and I would not do that unless I've got the money. At the moment, yeah, I'm diabetic. I can't wait to have my surgery. You know, if I had the money, I would pay for it. I will pay for my surgery to happen. And I know I said, look, I don't want it to happen next year. I don't want it to happen in 2 months' time. I want it to happen now. I want to be in that operating theatre tomorrow. Because I pay for it. And that's what I like. And that's what I would do. Because if I pay for something, I want it here and now. Not in 3 or 4 months' time or a year's time. No, it's now. You know. You know. that's the type of person I am. Because when you pay for something, why should you wait 3-4 weeks? You should get it now. You know, I like the NHS, but the NHS is crumbling, and the government won't say it. The news channels won't say it. The reason why it's crumbling is because we've got too many people in this country. The UK is full. Okay, it's full. But I can't. I like when people do it, like when people emigrate the proper way. I will never say it's full for them because they are doing it the proper way, you know. But it's full for these oh little boaty, the little boaty people and things like that. We need to come to a line now. So right, enough is enough. We need to sort the country out. We need right. The army has to get involved now in blocking everything. Is in America, the only way they're going to do it, like I said, is in November. Although I don't really like Donald Trump, but I think Donald Trump is the only person who can change America and put America back on the right path. And because this other person, no, there'd be one for Americans to vote this person in. Yeah, it'd be one to vote Donald Trump in because he's transphobic. But if you're going to put American people first and things like that, and put the American safety first, then you have to go for Donald Trump. He's the person to do it. Hopefully he doesn't come down hard on trans people a lot. You know, you know. But I think he could be the only guy to bring order in America, because what's happening in New York at the moment is a freaking nightmare, you know. And my heart is with every American woman, man, child, LGBT person going. But I'll call it LGBTS. That stands for lesbian, gay, bi, trans, and straight. Okay? LGBTS. Okay? I see we're all are trans. We're all at one point will put on a woman will put on a man jumper, or a man will put on a woman's pair of tights just for the fun of it. But the way I see it, we're all trans because we all wanna wear it, you know, you know, and but the way I see it, we're all one. We all want to live a life of happiness. But it's not like that. Could I say to you, by touching this table, which is right here, when will all this bitching stop? When all this stupid dictating stop? I do not know. I know when it'll stop for me. when I'm dead. When I ain't got to put up with it anymore. You know? But it is what it is. And until things get sorted, we are all living under the most stupidest governments going from around the world. They are nothing but stupid governments in power. When this government goes in, we think the next government, every government who gets in the power is going to be fucking stupid, no matter what you do. Okay? You know? Because every government don't like certain things, you know? Labour might be all for the LGBT, but they're against other things. I can't, although I'm LGBT, but I'm a person who loves my country, you know, whose granddad fought for this country, and I will not let any person tell me that I got to agree with every single politician going. I will never, I will always put, because I live in England, I'm proud to be English. That's why I say again, that's why I've got the England flag behind me, at the side of me, and in front of me. You know. So, that's it. Thank you for watching me with the morning cuppa here on New England. Just to let you know, things are changing here on New England too. It's going to get a lot better here on England too. I hope you'll have a very nice Wednesday, and I'll see you again here on New England too. I'll be back on Saturday and Sunday, and at the weekend, on Morning Cuppa with Tin New England. What else is to come here on Tin England too is Foodie Munch. I did do a Foodie Munch yesterday for Tin England 1, but I started getting angry. Ooh, better not do that. um, but I deleted it now from my phone. But thank you for watching. Have a really lovely day. Yeah, things have got to change for the goodness. You know, we need to. I do not know what hell we're gonna do. You know, but as far as I know, that Labour are not doing their job properly. Nor are the Greens, nor the governments are only in it for themselves. It's a game to them. You know, just like in any other government across the world, it is a big game. You know, but for me, 4 things I'm gonna say now: comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ding the bell. I'll see you on Saturday. Bye bye for now.